This is the time of year when you're spending money on holiday gifts and travel. You want to make sure you don't lose your money where you don't need to. A way you can do that is by avoiding scams. And here to tell us all about scams going around this holiday season is Lechelle Yates with the Better Business Bureau, and she's answering all your scam questions. You can text them to us now at the number you see here on your screen is 336-379-5775. You can get your questions answered in real time, and remember, it is anonymous. So Lechelle, let's get right into it. We've all been getting these emails warning there's a suspicious charge on my account, or more scary, you've been charged with some item you know you didn't buy.
We call this the compromised account scam, and it works like this. Like you said, you can get an email, you could get a text, it might be a phone call saying that there's suspicious activity on your account, or it asks you if you've placed a specific order. And of course, you need to act immediately to avoid being charged. And they, of course, want you to use that helpful link or phone number that they've provided. Don't do it. They're either going to try to get your personal information so they can steal your identity, or they're going to take over your account. So here's how you protect yourself. Be extra cautious with unsolicited calls, emails, and texts. Don't be quick to believe the claims that come from these unsolicited communications. Don't panic and don't feel intimidated. Scammers want you to panic. They want you to act without thinking. So stay calm and just think things through just for a second. Also, don't use that link or the website or the phone number that they provide. Find the information yourself and go straight to the account in question, and then log into your account to confirm if there really is a case of suspicious activity that's associated with your account. Also, understand how businesses handle communications. For example, Amazon, they won't send you an alert about account compromise that contains a link or a callback number. And last, just never give out personal information to strangers. If you aren't speaking or corresponding with someone that you know and trust, don't give out personal information like your social security number or account numbers or passwords. That's one of the best ways that you can protect yourself.
Some great advice there. How about this? We make 40% of our charitable donations during the last few weeks of the year, and scammers, they're there with their hands out.
They are, and often they hide behind sound-alike charity names, maybe the National Heart Association or the American Heart Association. Quick, which one's the right one? Or they also create charities and then use most of the money for salaries or fundraising instead of programs. For example, the American Veterans Foundation sounds like a really worthwhile charity, doesn't it? Well, in 2019, they raised $6.5 million, and their mission: provide care packages and aid for deployed troops and homeless vets. Well, the FTC says instead it used 92% of the money for telemarketing and admin costs, which included salaries. That 92%, imagine all of that going for telemarketing and admin costs. So how do you give wisely? Well, get the charity's exact name so you know that you're giving to the right charity when you're giving. Also, check the website for basic information. It should have the charity's mission, its program, its finances. All of that should be accessible on the charity's website. If not, check it on give.org. That's BBB's Wise Giving Alliance, and we'll have that information if it's available. If we don't have it, that could be an indication that the charity is not providing that to anybody. Or just use one of BBB's accredited charities. We've checked them out to make sure that they're being good stewards of their dollars. So let us do the work for you and just use one of those.
How about this? We still have time to find that perfect gift, that hard to find gift, that bargain. It's out there online somewhere, and we're in danger of falling for online shopping scams more than ever.
Yes, and first, let's give a quick definition of an online shopping scam. It could be that you order something and you never receive it, or you order something and what you get is either counterfeit or it is nothing like what you've ordered. And we've all had that happen to us. So It could also be hard because you don't necessarily know that the site that you're on is going to be a problem because it looks legitimate. It's got real pictures, it's got descriptions, it's got logos. And that's because the scammers, they just rip that off from a real site. So it can be really hard to know just by looking that you're going to get scammed. So here's how you can protect yourself. One, research the website on bbb.org and bbb.org/scam tracker. See what we're reporting, look at the complaints, and look at reviews. Also, when you're on the website, look for the BBB accredited business seal. It's the sign of a better business. That means that those businesses have pledged to be honest and transparent, and we've also vetted them to make sure that they're going to be honest and transparent. Also, you could do a search online for the website name and the word scam and see what other people are reporting. And also look to see if there's contact information on the website. If there's not, that's a huge red flag because you have no way to get in contact with them. If there is contact information, check that contact information. Call the phone number, see if it works. Look at the address that's given. Does it belong to that business or does it belong to a different business? Does it belong to an empty field? That happens all the time with scam websites. And last, you want to pay with a credit card. There are federally mandated processes in place to dispute a credit card purchase if there ends up being a problem. You do not have those same protections in place if you use a debit card. And there are certainly none of those protections in place if you use something like a Cash App like Zelle or if you use something like PayPal. So credit cards are always the safest way to go. And sometimes you can get at the holidays, if you just wanted to get a credit card that you use nothing for except for online shopping, don't use it for anything else. And that way you don't have to worry about it throughout the rest of the month if you're worried about carrying a balance, but just use it for online shopping at the holidays.